Alright guys, welcome back to the Unpack podcast, episode 70. It's your boy Sia.
Trev, of course.
Down over here, man.
I would say guys, we've been having some wonderful, intense conversation prior to us starting. I guess based on little things that we want in life, little things that we see that's going on, things that change, things that needs to get changed, things that could get addressed, things that needs to get addressed.
Yeah.
Stuff. For one, I want to start with the whole Terry Crews thing because that was kind of a passionate thing for me. After last podcast and we had that talk, it actually rendered a nice conversation between me and my wife. And my wife talked about standing up for something or falling for anything, right? And she was like saying for one, we're both big Terry Crews fans, so I want to make sure I get that out there. And
as far as entertainment?
No, as far as entertainment, I kind of watched his reality series when it came out back in the day. I haven't watched it lately. I'm not sure if it's still going on.
It was pretty nice. I watched it too.
No, it was pretty, he's right. So, and we did kind of like the relationship that he had with his wife. We saw some good, some bad. Just like regular people. And I would say this. So based on me saying that, we did have a liking for Terry Crews. I watched a lot of things that he did. She's a big fan of white chicks as well. So when we talked about it, she was like, people has to stick together. And I was like, yeah, but people are people. So, the conversation came up about, what Gabrielle faced. And she was like, it's tough because he answered the question the best way he could have. And she also understood the advice his wife gave him at the moment. But we're in a society, and this is where the conversation changed. She's like, we're in a society where, and we're not going to put it into racism bracket, right? But as based on your color, you're technically placed into a box. That even when you're not in the box, you're put into the box, right? Mm-hmm. And she's like, what we have to understand as human beings, especially as men, right, is that we are leaders, right? And we are kings. All women are our queens and princesses, and we should be protecting them. So she's like, what she thought Terry Crews should have did before he made his comment, right? Yeah. And it's funny how that happened, because when we had the conversation, she basically looked at me. She's like, he's gonna come out and apologize, because when the backlash he's going to get, and when his wife really sits down and they analyze the situation, she's going to realize it's not that she gave him bad advice, is that she gave him her advice that would have pertained just to her. Exactly. But if you're a man and you're a leader and you're a king, your advice has to go beyond that. And she was like, that's what Terry Crews failed to understand. It's like the conversation came to you because you're on a platform. It didn't come to you as just a regular man. It came to you because you're considered representing.
You have a voice.
You have a voice. You're representing our culture in a particular way, and that's entertainment. So if you've been around this game and you say that you've been Me Too'd, right? Mm-hmm. So you felt some inequality, and you can say this, Terry, and I'm not saying I'm speaking directly into Terry's life, but when you were getting Me Too'd, I know you probably thought to yourself, I wonder if any other guy probably been through the situation, right? And
because he said he was saying himself in the interviews, talking about other people that might have been in the situation. That's why he's coming out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You feel me? So in that retrospect, I think that before he answered that question, right, he should have thought. But I'm gonna say this. This is what I felt Terry Crews should have did, and this is why I would say me and my wife are both upset at Terry, because Terry did when Terry addressed that conversation was part of a national interview. Like he was live on TV.
Yep.
The conversation got addressed, right? So he was able to speak out verbally. You know what I mean? You were on a platform. Then when he recanted his statement and said sorry, it was more like something written. It was like his publicist kind of got something out to
document together.
Yeah.
So the same weight that he addressed the conversation with didn't technically came back out. It was more like, okay, I was on my platform, I addressed it this way because I felt like I was protecting my finances in the business.
Yeah.
But at the same rate that you were publicly saying this, she says that, and I'm not saying I'm speaking for her because I agree too. I think he publicly should have come out and verbally said sorry instead of a small written statement, because the written statement is not what got taken out of context. When you say something, we can have it. Something written can be altered so that you could write down in your management team, go, no, that doesn't sound correct.
Yeah.
Fix that.
Fix it up. Make it
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it didn't feel like it was hard. It didn't feel heartfelt. The apology didn't feel heartfelt. It felt like you're just trying to cover yourself because you felt like black supporters were cutting you.
And then of course the fact that he doubled down on it, even when people asked him about it initially.
Yes.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? It just looks like, okay, that's what you're about. All right, because that was your chance then. If somebody said, if you're in the middle interview, we understand like you might not be thinking what am I really saying as a leader, blah blah. You might get a pass on that. But the second time when they're asking you
Yes.
about what you said and you double down on it, like at that point.
So the backlash is what I felt like kind of
fuel that whole
yeah.
apology.
Let me say something so I could have more people in the movie theaters. Whatever next film is going to come out starring me. Because if something come out probably like mid this year, he's co-starring, then this is going to bring up back again.
Yes,
You
it
gotta
is.
think, Terry Crews, he's like, I guess you could say it's like his range, his reach crosses cultures.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the type of guy that could be, you know what I'm saying, on Good Morning America, or he has those kind of opportunities where he's, in front of all of America.
Right.
Of course, you don't want to mess it up with this whole thing with Gabrielle Union, So there are things to gain from him, quote unquote, apologizing.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think he did come to that realization.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did like Dwayne Wade posted him because after he heard Terry Crews' response, he was more like, we the black community need Terry Crews to go get the help that he really needs. We're not gonna facilitate the conversation.
What's going on with that?
Yeah.
All right, so let me just jump conversation, right?
Yeah.
And this is funny, and I want to address it in two phases.
Okay.
The video footage of Jay-Z sitting at the Super Bowl for the national anthem. This is phase one.
So we're going to do it in phases. Okay? All right.
First
All right. Before we heard the reply. Okay.
This is like a Super Bowl run through phase, or we just talk about the Jay-Z phase?
No, I know. All right, so
Super Bowl was kind of crazy, but let's start at Jay-Z.
No, the Super Bowl was crazy. The reason why I want to start with the Jay-Z thing.
Yeah.
Guys, you do know that here on the podcast we try to keep a wide range of conversation. This is a very talked about conversation. Now, I'm gonna say this for me at work. It's a very decisive conversation because I have one set of coworkers, and this is what I like about the conversation right now. Yeah. Lately, I felt like politically we've been racially divided. Now, I've realized that the racial dividend is kind of slowly leaving. I can say that firmly now. Yeah. I've seen more wider range because lately I used to run into a lot of white Republicans and more black Democrats. Actually, I'm seeing a lot of
reverse.
I'm running into a lot of white Democrats, and I'm actually running into a lot of black people who consider themselves more Republican. You know what I mean? And I think that's based on the type of work that I'm doing. So I'm coming across a different set of people with different tax brackets, which is good. So I love it. So based on the conversation, I'm happy the way things are turned. Now, this conversation was brought to me because it was very surprising. I didn't know that this coworker of mine, this black guy, I'm not gonna put what nationality he is because he's not even.
You just said black.
Yeah, no, but Trevor, he's
black.
Which
black?
Different nationality.
Yeah,
okay,
different
okay.
nationality. So I wouldn't say he's African American. He's African, but from another country.
Oh, okay.
So
I got you.
and he was like, "Can you believe Jay-Z sat during the national anthem?" And I was like, I wasn't even paying attention to that. He's like, "Yes, like go look it up on YouTube." And then after he said that, the conversation got sparked, right?
Yeah.
And after the conversation got sparked, I started realizing like this is still a thing. Like people really is still bent upon this Colin Kaepernick,
Right.
or kneeling or standing for the national anthem.
Right.
So, the conversation was strong. Like, it was being disrespectful. He should have stand, even if he didn't want to. I would say the pledge or say the national anthem. He should have stand and show reverence. And I was like, okay, so that's where this conversation is. So it was very it was a good conversation.
This is funny because I know what really happened.
Okay,
So-
no. I mean, that was I'm gonna let you get that part.
Yeah.
But the conversation was so drafted in the sense that what my coworker was said that for Jay-Z who he's in his mind doesn't stand with Kaepernick, kind of took a couple steps backwards in this narrative. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie. When I used to go to school, if my tummy was hurting me and we were doing the pledge, I would put my hand on my chest. I may not stand all the time, but I may have to drop a deuce or something. So, he was like, well, that's something different. He didn't look constipated. He looked perfectly fine. And I was like, man, this is still a conversation. Now, the funny thing is, this is where the conversation came to me. The person who came to Jay-Z's defense was a Caucasian person. And he was like, well, I mean, based on the footage that I saw, it didn't even look like nothing was done intentionally. It kind of looked like they probably was having a conversation, and it just kind of went over the whole thing of, oh, we all got to stand. Like it kind of looked like they didn't even care. It didn't look like no one was protesting. Nobody looked angry. It didn't look like there was no motive, and
it wasn't a moment like that.
No, it wasn't a moment like that. So the conversation it went on, but it did make me realize that this is still an issue, and I was like, wow.
What is an issue? I'm not.
The issue is that he feels that Jay-Z should be showing respect to the flag and to the national anthem.
So when he was watching it on his TV in Super Bowl, did he stand up off his couch?
Yeah,
Did
right.
he stand up off his...
Did everyone shut up and then just put down their food and put their hand to the heart?
I didn't pay too much attention to the clip everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
But I know. Now I'm not. It's a slight brag.
Yeah.
I know that when you go to certain arenas and you're in a suite,
Yeah.
it's a different atmosphere.
Yes. Hey,
like,
I've been there too.
Like the sound is different. You don't hear
Yeah.
all the sound in the arena. Like it's like you're in a room, and then like you can walk out and see what's going on in the arena, but you're like in a private suite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you don't hear everything that's going on in the arena.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, like Jay-Z is basically the producer, executive producer of the entertainment at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So he even said himself in an interview, he was like, I was paying attention to the performance aspect of it to make sure everything was right, making sure all audio levels are where they should be at. You know, how's the performer reacting? He's checking all that stuff. He's not thinking about, oh, I gotta stand up because he's working.
Yeah.
So my question is like, do the announcers stand up
Ooh,
at a basketball
there you
game?
go.
We're like, no, because they're working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You gotta understand that the whole thing at all Super Bowls or any football game now, it's all a show.
huge event.
It's just a show. So, especially someone in Jay-Z's position, if you expect him to stand, you expect the director for the lighting.
Exactly.
Everyone in the background got to stop what they're doing and listen to it. So how is someone that's like his hands is behind it has to say, "Oh, forget whatever you're doing. I'm supposed to stand up for this."
Come on, man.
And then think about it. Okay, we're standing up for what? Like what's the whole purpose of the national anthem? Like, let's be real. Like, why?
Radio silence.
I mean,
I understand the Pledge of Allegiance.
I do, but
Does that even happen anymore?
Well, no, Trevor.
Because I don't know if y'all
Take it
kids.
serious 'cause it's a pledge. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would say this: my kids goes to charter school,
Yeah.
and the next school that me and my wife is going to send them to is a Christian academy. But both schools that we do send them to do make them stand for the Pledge of Allegiance because it's about. I would say this for me at this moment, probably when they're grown, they'll make a different decision. It just shows that you can follow rules. You know what I mean? That's just that's just mentally for kids. Now, as a grown adult, it's a different thing. You know what I mean? That's how I see this as a child, for my kids. And it took time and patience for me to understand this. This is a conversation me and my wife have because we're like, look, baby, if the simple instructions that the school has is that you have to stand and put your hand across your chest to do the Pledge of Allegiance
And recite.
Recited, which is technically a nice little command. It's
not a command, it's a pledge.
No, it's a pledge, but
it's a command is something you will be saying to something. The Pledge of Allegiance is you confirming your allegiance to America. It's a pretty big deal.
No, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And if I would say if you don't stand for it, then don't do it.
And don't do it
because it is a big deal. It's like it's like close to pretty much. I would consider it pretty close to your religious beliefs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And how you protect that. You're pledging in your own will your allegiance to a country. And especially for me, that a person's not born here,
okay,
it's a huge deal.
It is a huge deal.
You know what I'm saying? Because,
is there a pledge in Jamaica?
In their pledge? No, we have pledges, but we don't do that.
I know the national anthem, but it's just was there like real?
No, yeah, we have one.
Because there's a Florida one too.
There is.
Yeah,
I don't even know about the Florida.
I've been here way too long. So
yeah, you've been here way too long.
But I never had to remember it.
You said it was a Florida one. It really.
I was like, what?
All those rednecks. I was like, oh my god.
No, because we did it in Broward.
No, I want to say this. You brought something up that sparked my mind because when I first came from Jamaica and I came here, my first day of school, I didn't know anything about standing for the pledge.
Exactly.
So when I was in class and it was like the morning announcement and then everybody stand up and they're like. So I sat down. I was like, all right, I don't know what y'all stand up for. The teacher's like, stand up, Cornelius. You know, you put your hand over your chest. And I'm like, no, I mean, I might have no heart attack.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah.
And then before it happened, she was like, well, so you're new to the country, right? And I was like, yeah. So she was like, this is one of the most important things to us here. You know what I mean? This is how we show reverence and respect to the country. And if you feel like, if you want to be a productive citizen and be a part of this country, these are the first basic rules you have to start following. So I was like, oh snap. So basically this is like, I could go to for me it was CSI or school jail.
Oh,
so,
ISS.
Yeah, so in my mind I was like, no school jail for me.
Yeah.
So, but the way my wife, I want to say the way we both look at it for the kids is that it's just little small things that you teach your kids to kind of show that you're teaching your child something that they will be able to stand for. It's something simple, like I know it's like putting your child to bed. You know what I mean? It's not easy, but these are little things that we work on so we can help to grow them. But that's how she looked at it.
Like I took it as when I was a kid, I took the Pledge of Allegiance as a memory tool. Like remember to put your hand here. Remember to recite this, because for the longest time I was messing up whatever they were saying. Then eventually, like third, fourth grade, I'm like, oh, I know it by heart, right? Yeah. So I use it as a learning tool. But then when I got older, I was like, okay, what is the real meaning behind it?
Yes.
But it's more of, I took it as more of a, you're showing respect to the country you're in.
Yeah, I think it's different. I think it's different based on like where you're, if you were like born here or if you migrated here, because it is an indoctrination tool.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, just growing up to
Real is real.
have respect for the country. I mean,
Yeah.
and it makes sense if you're born here. Like, you are a citizen, you're supposed to. But where the line blurs is like, okay, if you're not a citizen, you really don't have to do it. Like,
No.
you don't, because you're visiting legally. You're visiting this country as a resident.
Yeah.
It's like me going to. It's like me saying, all right, I'm gonna go work in Germany, and hey, I gotta bring my family over, and I'm just working here, and they tell my kids to go do the pledge to Germany. Like, hold up, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, the first, I'm like, hold up, they're American citizens. Why are they pledging allegiance to Germany?
Right.
That's a no. You know what I'm saying? So you
Right.
gotta kind of look at it in that aspect as well, and just gotta. I mean, it is a serious thing. I mean, for our kids that are born here,
Yes.
you gotta. I get what you're saying, Cian. You gotta show them like, hey, you're American citizens. This
Yes.
is what we do in America. You have to respect your country above all things, and make sure that your country is under God,
Yes.
and you're proclaiming that.
Yeah.
Totally understandable, but at the same time, if you're not from here, kind of gotta walk the line with your kids or even yourself. You gotta say, hey, is this right for me or not? And I'm not gonna. I don't judge anybody that feels either way. You know what I'm saying?
There's some religions that don't allow them to stand up for the pledges.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like, it's all depends on your personality, or your connection with the country.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I would say this, as an immigrant, I did kind of understand where he was coming from, because, I mean, as Downville does state, he asked. I mean, Trevor, you said this. Well, do we do this in Jamaica, right? And technically, we don't. But for a lot of immigrants, when we come here and we go through that phase, it kind of just gives us a feeling that we've arrived.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
So that's what it feels like. And then, well, he was basically looking at it like, there's so many people out there who's trying to get into this country, trying to get a shot for a better life,
Just for them to able to stand and do this.
and he didn't want to do it. But I would like to say this, other than from lingering on why Jay-Z didn't stand or couldn't stand, I do love his response to it first. I take the first response he gave. I think his first response was the best one. It puts him in a bubble, right, away from the bubble, and I want to use that reference very, very, very loosely. He was in a bubble away from the bubble, because if he would have technically responded and said that I just didn't stand for the national anthem, that would have been a protest, right?
Yeah.
But his response was like, "Yo, I forgot." It's like I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah,
There was an artist mode.
Yeah,
I'm in the middle of producing the show.
Yeah.
you know, and I feel like, to me, that is, and I'm gonna say this, guys. A lot of time, it's not what you say it, it's how you say it. It's not about what you do and how you do it. You see, this is very tight. Jay-Z protected himself in a way that he's right, that he's neither right nor wrong. The fact that he said he forgot, so he's like, oh, so you forgot? Yeah, I forgot. So I didn't do anything wrong, but you should have remembered what I forgot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why didn't you stand up? I forgot.
Yeah.
So,
But it kind of shows also whatever happens next, whatever event he has to be at that is involving the national anthem, that's involving NFL and the national anthem, please, to help yourself, just stand.
no, I'm gonna tell
You hear it, you just...
Trevor, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen, and I've taken very, very close look at Beyonce and Jay-Z's things. They're just gonna put themselves in a nice little area where you can't see them.
Yeah,
You
no
see how
cameras.
Smart.
Yeah, you see how visible they were now? I want you to understand, Beyonce, over the years, she's put a lid on her visibility to a very tight lid.
Yeah.
You don't see her unless she wants to be seen. And I'm going to say this, at this point, it's just going to make them a little bit tighter. And I've come to learn how they play that game. Not saying it's not like, I feel like the game that Jay-Z and Beyonce played in these situations is so much beneficial. It's so financially driven. Because they don't give loose interviews and they just don't jump on everybody's talk show, their price just goes up for whatever they do.
Yeah.
Just because their exclusiveness.
Like even with Jay-Z, if he ever does an interview, he most likely gonna be going to Rock Radar, which he owns. Yeah, so he makes sure. I'm not saying he's gonna filter the questions, but it's more of who's asking the questions.
You're not gonna ask your boss crazy questions.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you're not gonna ask him. Oh, did you sleep or cheat?
Yeah.
Who he cheated on with?
Yeah, who's Becky with the good hair?
Yeah.
You want to keep funding the show?
Yeah.
No, we're not.
He just cut the camera right there.
You don't want Friday's paycheck, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't want Friday's paycheck.
no Rock Nation brunch for you.
No Diddy speech, no Kevin Hart speech.
Here.
You don't
Sorry, you're on the list, sir.
Yeah. I don't even know you. Security.
You said your name was again. I don't see you here. How you spell that?
Elliot?
Another person. That's why I spelled that.
No.
I don't see it here, man.
All right, guys. Let's jump into something a little bit tense.
No. Let's keep on the Super Bowl. You guys watch it? 'Cause I want to talk about the halftime show, man.
Okay.
That was pretty interesting, right?
Okay, so
First off,
the halftime show was raunchy. I was kind of staying away from it.
Raunchy, yo. I had to tell my daughter, like, yeah, you need to go to the room.
Yo,
like,
look. I'm gonna say this. At one point, and this is bad. The guys don't judge me. I like fatness. All right. At one point, the cameraman was all up in between Shakira's legs. Like I was like, yo.
What was he looking for? Was that a bad angle? Like,
yo, David. David. I can't even say it was a bad angle because she actually looked down at him like.
That's true.
And I'm like,
big eye contact.
Yo, bro, I want you. No, David. The thing was on DVR. Yeah. Like, bro, we rewinded because my wife was like, babe, no, the camera's being rude. I was like, babe, like she gave him eye contact. That's some intercourseal position that she's going like. She's looking at him while he's up on in between her legs, and she was like, "No." So we recorded, and I'm looking at him, and she was like, and "I'm like, babe,
was it Shakira?
Yeah, bro."
I didn't pay that much attention.
Both of them were wild.
Both of them were so art, and I'm gonna tell you this. I want to say this, guys. Okay, so damn, this is gonna get political. All right.
Okay.
I love Jennifer Lopez show. Good and bad. It's good when it was good, bad when it was bad. I want to start with the bad first.
Okay.
Before I get to the good. J-Lo, you have kids out there. The thong G-string outfit, especially when your daughter.
One of her kids was right there.
Her daughter was right there.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, that for your daughter was a little bit intense. Now, and I want to say something. This is the reason why I said it's going to get political.
Yeah.
Because I've watched social media go on an uproar for the fact that J-Lo performed in her outfit and her daughter was there. Now, don't get me wrong. Two wrongs don't make her right, right? So that's where she was wrong. But there was something there that was way more profound that was going on that no one paid attention to. They were so fixated on her outfit and her daughter, they didn't understand the message that was there. There were kids there that was in cages singing, right?
I missed that.
You see, this is Donovan. This is the reason why I wanted to point that out because everybody was so caught up in J-Lo and her outfit. The little kids them in cage singing was signifying what's going on at the border, right? They're singing for their freedom.
Wow.
But because everybody was so caught up in the pom pom shake, the body shake, they didn't see the realness of it. And I was like, look at it. Look at what J-Lo is bringing you from the Hispanic community from South Florida to show you what we're going through. This is what our kids are facing. They're singing in cages for freedom. But we are so caught up in looking at her butt, right? And chastising her. Like people was like, oh yeah, good role model. Yeah, she is a nice role model. But you know the nasty part of it is J-Lo may maybe not be the best role model for her daughter dressing like that, but based on the age and generation where we're in with social media and what goes on in school, it's not taking nothing away from your daughter seeing stuff like that anyway. You know what I mean? Granted, she's not supposed to see it from her mom, but I felt that the message about kids needing freedom away from cages overshadowed her thong performing next to her daughter outfit. That was so small compared to the bigger picture that was there.
Yeah, but the problem is nobody saw. Well, I mean, you saw it, CN, but not a lot of people saw the big picture. Even like, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, like it was all over TV. Like, I tell my daughter, like, nah, you can't watch that. Turn around. Like,
yeah, no, it was rated TV MA, bro. That wasn't even rated R.
You know what? One thing I always notice, when almost every Super Bowl performance, there's complaints saying it's over sexualized.
Yeah. Even the one last year with the Adam Levine, that guy, he had his shirt on, off looking crazy.
Yeah,
like,
so it's like
unnecessary.
We all say it's unnecessary, but we're not ones that we're the consumer. We would say it's unnecessary, but we're the ones that's still paying the people. They notice that sex sells. Sex will never not sell.
Shoot, Instagram
unfortunately, in this society that there's no way we could even leave it. Sad to say, because you look at even just watch an NBA game. Once timeout gets called,
and the cheerleaders come on.
Cheerleaders comes on, right? Yeah. Like, which is like, what's the point? You know, times on 2K, I wanted to skip this point because it's like it's annoying now. It's like, why? I don't care. You're doing the same dance, even though, like, in a real life one, they know how to dance.
Like dancers, they got cheerleaders.
Yeah,
like, two separate ones.
Yeah, but it's like I still understand cheerleading. Like, why is the cheerleading at NFL games? Yeah. Why are they still here?
Boxing matches, you know, you see the ring girls.
Boxing matches, you know, they start doing guys now.
What?
But no,
yeah, they are.
Okay,
they're still doing guys now.
Pause. For any promoter out there who's doing boxing, guys, I'm gonna need you to stop. We don't want to see that out there. I'm sorry.
But it was more for the ladies' matches in the MMAs.
Even with the ladies' matches, we still don't want to see no guys. There's no guys. There's no ladies going to the ladies' matches.
They're just busted up guys. Just say, all right, here's one.
WNBA games, do they have cheerleaders?
I don't think so. I think if anything, they have dancers. I think they have dancers.
They have dancers, yeah.
But what's the point of the cheerleaders in that? It's just for sex.
It really is.
It's like make the men's fantasy of seeing a girl in a cheerleader outfit still live to this day from back when they were in high school, back when they were in middle school. And they say, no, I'm going to pay to get closer seats, so they're going to pay more to get a better view because you can't see nothing if you're in the nosebleeders. So it's a long road of sex selling in our in America. Period.
The world, I would say.
Yeah. Hey, you look at it like I just saw Bombshell. The one with Marco Robbie. They're talking about the Megyn Kelly, all the sex things that happened at Fox News.
Fox, yep.
I watched that. I was sitting back like, God, we are pigs. Yeah. We are horrible.
The things they do with Fox.
Yeah, but it's not even just Fox. Look at it as in general. Not even entertainment. I'm talking about business, period. Women are more likely to come into get interviewed if their skirt is a little bit shorter.
That's true.
Right? Then when they get higher up, you got to do some tricks before we even consider you for a promotion or consider to put you in something where you can shine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad that sex been selling and sex is still selling. Yeah. It's the way that you got to put, as y'all have kids and when my future kids start coming, we got to get them into positions where my image don't define me.
Nice, sure. I like that.
Right? Because I like how, if you want to go in an artistic way, it took forever before we ever knew what her looked like. Mm-hmm. But we knew what she sounded like.
Very true, very true.
And still to this day, she still wear them shades because she's knowing that this here is not selling. My voice is what's selling. My writing talent is what's selling. We got to make that outsell sex. Because sex will never stop selling. Yeah. But talent needs to trump that now.
Yeah.
It needs to come back to where, if we're going back in entertainment wise, I just listened to D Smoke album. I didn't finish it yet. My God. That's talent outshining the publicity of
quality, bro.
Yeah, all of that was
No commas.
overshine. No commas was hot. Bullies was hot.
Yeah,
the one
boy.
with Snoop is on it. Jill Scott's on it. Ari Lennox is on
No,
it.
Don. The album,
Yeah.
is fire, and I like it because D Smoke is not a fast rapper. He slows it down. So for people, I would say this. Not to take. the
No,
narrative
go ahead, go
away.
ahead.
For the fact that we've got so many mumble rappers now, and so many rappers who wants to spit fast, a lot of people forgot why we like Jay-Z so much in this era. Is that based on what the music gets put out, we can actually hear him. So when when he's rapping, you can hear his words.
Yeah.
And D Smoke has re-energized that.
Yeah.
In the sense that you want to listen to music again. It's not about ad libs.
Yeah.
It's not about little quick perks. No, listen to words. Sure, I'm taking that from a positive thought.
Yeah, but it's also what he said in it has purpose. When he talk about bullies, they say bullies don't last forever. When he talk about what was another song on there? I forgot the one with Jill Scott. That one was a beautiful song, but it was a lot of messages in this music that wasn't like over sex. Even the one that was even supposed to be for booty music kind of song, that one was more tasteful than you would ever think of nowadays music. Because on real, like D Smoke's not like young either. He's in his 30s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he kind of making music for the 30s and up.
He's a teacher as well. So.
Yeah, he's a teacher. So it's like he's educated. Like he's showing you quality over the ratchet.
Yeah.
Because ratchet's so easy to come out. Like it's easy in our culture too.
Quick and easy.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's just when I see all the way back to the whole NFL thing, I didn't even notice because on real, here's my excuse. I was like, the halftime show's on. All right, my mother-in-law just made an awesome plate of food.
Yeah, I'm let me get that.
I'm seeing this, then I'm looking down, then I'm like, oh, I see you on the pole. All right, but then it was just that was my distraction, right, to it, and I look at that performance. I have to look at an artistic view, because I went to art school. It's just in programming me now.
Yeah,
I'm listening to she's moving that fast. I don't think I ever heard her sing in that kind of pace. And while you're dancing too, you're lip singing.
Yes, she is.
I saw that.
Yeah, so that's Shakira. Then I've noticed with J-Lo wasn't lip syncing that much. A lot of that was actually her, because remember, J-Lo is more of a dancer.
Still is.
Yeah, she's more of a dancer than like anyone else, like vocal wise. So
J-Lo's 50.
And unreal, I respect that she's 50 and moving like this. You saw that meme where it showed the Golden Girls at 50.
Blanche,
They see, Blanche. Shout out Blanche, rest in peace.
Yeah,
but
Blanche is thoroughbred too, though.
yeah,
Wow.
but I saw that and I'm like, maybe I'm looking at it as a way how Jay-Z looked at the national anthem, like how everything is connecting. Because if one little slip, you could see the downfall of a performance. Because even when like Beyonce, when she was with Destiny's Child, they did that live performance. Then I think Michelle fell one time.
Michelle.
You gotta understand that everyone has to pick up and make sure. And you see how she snapped right back into the dance floor.
right back into
You
the
didn't even
dance
notice it
song.
unless you was really paying attention.
Yeah.
Or when Beyonce fell down the stairs one time, that she just rolled right up to and boom, back at it.
You gotta be ready, bro.
Yeah, it's like the art and talent behind of staying on point of what your real passion is beautiful to me. That's what I saw in that performance. Yeah, I understand the modesty needs to go up, which that never will happen in the NFL.
Yeah, it's Miami on top of that.
Miami too. Only thing I do bring up that you're in Miami. I understand. Respect the Latin company. Trick Daddy, Trina, Uncle Luke, Khaled.
Yeah.
Where they at? Like,
That was
why
my-
we got
that was my issue, too.
nothing?
And the thing is, like,
'Cause
Jennifer
they from the
Lopez-
hood.
Jennifer Lopez isn't even from Miami. That's the
No,
thing.
She from the
Shakira
Bronx.
not either.
And she rapped it too, so it's like
Yeah.
she said something about the Bronx. I'm like, yo, that's like
Jamie
you're in
from the
Miami.
Bronx.
Like,
Yeah.
let me do it,
Why
you know?
there's no Miami
Exactly. Like,
representation?
at least, even if it was like a Latin artist from
Yeah.
Pitbull, for God's sake.
Yeah, Pitbull. I mean, yeah, Bad Bunny, but I don't know if Bad Bunny is from
That was kinda
Miami.
whack.
No, Bad Bunny didn't. Let me not comment on Bad Bunny. I'm not that. His music has, probably because I'm not Latino. He has, other than from his Cardi B.
Latino thing.
Gosh, oh mama, la la la.
Well,
Alright, that's as much as I
He
know.
does a lot, but anytime I hear him, I just tune out.
But even with Cardi B, her song was on there, but
Yeah,
she
but
did.
remember she protested the Super Bowl last year, so I think
I would have
I think she
sued.
was on that same type of time. This
I
year.
would have sued that crap.
And then I know Rihanna was like, "Nah, I'm not doing it."
Yeah. Well, I respect them not
From
doing
what I heard,
that.
Rihanna's could be maybe leaving Rock Nation, but that's a whole other conversation we would have.
Yeah, but that was my issue too, Trev. Like,
Yeah.
they should have some type of Miami representation, especially Khaled.
No
You know,
Miami
things that he's
bass.
doing, he let him MC the whole thing, and that would have been
Yeah.
But
insane.
you know what you said, Donville. You're right. If they would have let Khaled do it, because Khaled's catalog comes from other artists.
ridiculous.
You feel me? So he would have been repping Miami and be like, "Yo, we're the
Yeah,
melting
Soul
party."
Line,
You know what I
you know?
mean?
Yeah.
We the best. That's what we do.
He's got the Wild Thoughts joint, you know, what I'm saying, with the Latin thing going on.
Yeah,
He's
but you see that was
so
the,
versatile.
but a lot of, I'm gonna say this, a lot of the artists that Khaled probably would have wanted to put on there
They probably would have protested.
probably would have been down, because when you
Understandable.
think about the catalog, because for one, Lil Wayne came on did the interview, and everybody was like, "Oh, we're coming to your city," and Wayne is like, "I know I live in Miami, but you know I'm from Louisiana."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what Miami is kind of showing, because when you think, because J-Lo, even though J-Lo's from the Bronx, J-Lo lives in Miami. She's one of the most average stars you can see on South Beach. If you're on South Beach, you know what I mean? So I would say that. So that's one of the reasons why they've chosen her. I'm gonna say, I know we do have Miami representation, but, and I'm using the word but, and there's a strong but. Miami black entertainment artists don't have proper catalogs.
No.
To perform.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
To perform at the Super
I
Bowl.
wouldn't say that.
No, it's
You
a
don't
fact.
think so?
I
All
wouldn't
right.
say that.
The only one that I can tell who has a proper catalog that can probably perform. All right, I'm gonna give you a reference. One of the reasons why Snoop Dogg wanted to get a reggae album is because he said that based on the tracks that he produces or he raps, when he got asked to go to the White House, he was like, I don't have records to play at a White House events. Like, I can do gin and juice from, but that's talking about smoking weed. You know what I mean? All my other tracks is talking about hoes, guns, and you feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's, when you think about, because I can think about Trina. When I think about Trina, I think I probably could have, no, because Trina, every one of Trina's songs, she's gonna be the baddest.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is Pitbull, CN.
Yeah.
Pitbull,
He would have been.
Pitbull would have been. Oh no,
Yeah.
Pitbull. I would have. I saw Donville. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. Pitbull is a very big in Miami, right?
Humongous.
But on the international scale, I think Pitbull may have 4 tracks that would hit internationally. The tracks that they did use to play at the event is very. It's not even international, because Shakira's track didn't really.
But that's the thing, CN.
You're right.
I wouldn't say most, but some of Shakira's tracks weren't even Shakira's tracks.
No, it wasn't, because it was.
So,
featured her.
No,
Yeah.
she was on Cardi B's track
She
too.
did like probably 2 or 3 tracks of hers, and the rest was just everybody else's
Yes,
stuff.
track. Yes, true.
Yeah.
I think
So-
J-Lo's the only one who did. She did
All her stuff.
All her
Well,
stuff.
she did all her
She did a
hits.
good
I mean,
variety.
also, let's go back to it. Yo, all your hits came from Ja Rule.
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
you doing? Sorry, not knocking Ja, but Ja needs this publicity.
Ja needed it.
Put
Yo,
it in.
Yo, Trevor, I felt that. I felt that.
Of the song, Ain't This Funny?
Yeah.
Ja Rule's got the best part.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you talking about? He is the song.
Must be the.
Everybody knows that. You know
I
what
mean,
I'm
like,
saying?
all right,
No
all
one's
right.
thinking about the chorus like, ain't it funny?
Yeah.
Like, nah. Everybody's thinking about Ja Rule's part.
Yeah.
So, like, as soon as you hear that song, you hear, like, well, where's Ja Rule at?
Yeah.
You know? So,
You know,
know,
all of
like
us would have got up. And be
Yeah,
like,
we-
yeah.
It must beat it, and then you know you can roll out.
Yeah.
And then the Cardi B track, that was just like, come on, how you gonna do that track without Cardi B? That's insane.
You did her track without her, bro.
You can't do it. Like
I want you to you were featured on that track, but you were featured, Bad Bunny.
This is why you gotta know what you be signing.
That's true.
When you make this music.
Sign over the rights.
Yeah, because your publicity, you're not even rights. It's the what do you call it?
What, licensing?
The licensing of your track, your BMI, you gotta make sure that's on point. So if your stuff ever gets used, thank you.
Exactly.
Because like that track, if it gets popular, it gets played into restaurants. It gets played into the mall when you walk by or whatever. Understand what's happening background of what you're making, because someone's making money off of these tracks.
Exactly.
It may not be the artist. As like Selena Johnson was said on the interview recently. What she said about the track again? Like, not everyone that has a Grammy is like rich. Like, Grammy doesn't mean you're rich. I met Grammy Award winners that were teaching at my school.
Yeah.
They're still trying to make a living, even though they have it on their thing like Grammy Award winning engineer.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean like you're making money.
It means the price go, but who wants to pay the price?
I mean, you were involved in that project.
Yeah, and that's nice. All right. We had a student that was in the same class as me. He said when they did like Two Lies and the Truth, and he did like Two Lies, and one of the actual truth one was, I worked on Kurt Franklin's Grammy Award winning album.
That's dope.
But it was like, but you're here.
It's like, I know.
Yeah, see, it's like it doesn't mean that what you hear your song a lot, you better make sure your business is good.
Yeah. So I remember I've been getting back into love and hip hop. I don't know why. But,
Hey, sometimes we need that ratchet.
They got Olivia on that joint, right? And she did a song a couple years back. I think it was
Olivia came back?
December. Yeah.
Man,
that song.
that's
December,
I ain't watched that no more,
it was
boy.
A pretty good hit.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was like after June and thing. She had the song December. It was pretty hot.
Yeah.
But they're talking about like the guy that produced it. He basically got all the money from it. She's mad, but he's like, "That's not your money. It's mine.
Yeah.
Like it's my song.
Yeah.
Like,
You sang good.
You got paid off the performing it, but as far as any type of revenue from that song,
that means she's
it comes
touring.
straight to me.
Yeah.
So you gotta go out there and tour. You know what I'm saying? Dance, do your thing. Get
Yeah,
your money.
that's a management
as
team,
far
boy.
as the song, that's all me. And he was like, "Yo," I was like, "Hey, he's right." You know?
I mean, but you know that's a lot. So guys, not to jump away. I don't know who wants to take Gayle King.
I call her Stale Gayle, yo. Stale Gayle. I don't know, man. Everybody knows it's I feel like if you're not up on protocol, it's too late. It's 2020, y'all. We can't be training people on how to behave. It's like the whole Terry Crews. It's kind of like the whole Terry Crews thing all over again. It's like you're in the public eye. You're a black person. You should just know certain things that are on code and off code. You know what I'm saying? One of the legends, Kobe Bryant, you know what I'm saying, dies in a horrific accident.
Right.
It's this, regardless if it's fresh or not, man. Like,
right.
You don't come up talking about no alleged, assault case and all this foolishness.
His body's not even in the ground yet.
Exactly. Like,
and also it kind of shows what society's at, because his body was not even cold yet, and people was bringing up this case.
Yeah.
Like it just got pulled out the helicopter, and they were bringing up. Oh, remember he raped that one girl?
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, I felt like
it's like, hold on real quick. It's like we expect that, and it was coming from certain demographics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you definitely don't expect that from our demographic.
Right.
Go ahead, see.
No, I mean I'm gonna say it's. Trevor, you said something. Down to talk about protocol. We gotta know the code. I feel like the code nowadays is misconstrued because money is more important. Very, very much so. Because I personally think Gayle knew what she was doing. Because I'm gonna say this: her questions are read. I know when you look down on that paper and you go, So, what you know about Kobe's rape case? When you read that question, I'm gonna say this. I'm not sure if anybody ever came from the days of Hooked on Phonics. I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Hooked on Phonics help teach you how to read. One thing Hooked on Phonics teach you when it teaches you about to read is to read a paragraph, not the sentence. Yeah. So you be able to kind of scale back, be able to read a whole paragraph real quick, right? Without just reading word for it. It's not like I am. It's like I am John, because you can see the whole sentence right then and there.
You see where it's going. Your mind is, you understand the context of what you're reading.
Now, Gayle King is not. We're not gonna say Gayle is old. I'm not gonna be disrespectful. You know what I mean? My mom taught me to show respect to women, and to our elders. And I'm using the word elder right there for a reason, because Gayle has been around this game for a long time. Her and her best friend, Miss Winfrey, the Big O, they own Oprah's own studios, right? She owns, Discovery. Let's not go down the list of things she owns. Let's get to the fact that Oprah's been on the air for more than 30 years, right? Yeah. She's been doing interviews. She's been giving questions. At this point, I'm very big on, if you guys ever gone to, or started a new job, and they tell you the policies and procedures, you're like, bro, I've never known this. But I guarantee after about a month or a year of you being in your position, right, you know what you're doing. For example, Trevor, you know what 5S is?
Yeah.
When you first heard about 5S, I would have been like, 5S's?
I was like, what exactly
what is 5S'ing?
Yeah.
So that's what's conversation. But after your first 2 or 3 weeks of working, you learn 5S'ing. Now, I'm going to say this. In the game of the social media, of media itself, people go to TV production classes now. People go to school that teaches you about the interviews. I mean, we're part of a podcast. Granted, Trevor, Donga's very educated. I'm educated myself. Trevor, you're the only one in this podcast who's been media educated. So you've been around a lot of these things where they kind of I'm not sure, but they probably, if you have to do an interview and stuff, they kind of tell you how to address these questions. Now, I would say this. We know that all publicity is publicity, regardless if it's good or bad, right? Yeah. I felt that the narrative that Gayle and the network played on is the word publicity. Because for one, granted, we're all backlashing against Gayle. Yeah. How many people you think now went to watch that interview based on the backlash?
Oh God.
Tons of people.
I want to see it for myself. I still haven't seen it, and I'm about to go.
And you're about to go watch it, Chad.
Yeah.
Just and look, we're talking about watching it from our podcast standpoint. So we have, I wouldn't say, not to say talking points, but to reiterate the narrative, right?
Yeah, to speak intelligently on it.
Now, how many podcasts are in the world? That's just people who
millions now.
Yeah. How many radio hosts are out there in the world now? And let's take the box of it just being inside of America. Every country throughout the world who has some reference towards Kobe Bryant, good or bad, is going to run this narrative. Let's not count how many countries there are in the world just so I can look ignorant, because I may not know the number right off the top of my head. But this information for them is being sold. Now, in that sense, this is going to get circled, so it's beneficial financially in every way possible. And the narrative that they're playing on is that people have ADD, right? Or I guess we have young Alzheimer's, where as we do it in this day and age, if when instant fresh information hit us, it hurts our feelings. If no one talks about it for another week, it goes out the door. Because I know that's a narrative that they're playing with, is that we're going to let this play out, and we're just going to continue moving. But I would like to say this, in the retrospect of what I've seen from Gayle right now, and I can go down the Harvey Weinstein with her and Oprah, because not to play the narrative. I think the narrative, as shown, I've seen the colors. I'm personally going to say this, big support of Oprah. I'm supporting Gayle because they've done a lot for media over the years. But at this point in my life, I feel like they're, instead of them being in help, they're more of an injury at this current moment. And I'm not gonna take away what they've done for people over the last 30 years. I cannot take that away. I want to give credit when credit is due. But at this moment, I feel like it's the deterioration of a culture is proven to be more important. And I'm saying this in the sense that I've watched what Gayle has done lately. I watched what Oprah's done lately. Their narrative is, and not to say that I understand. I feel like black people should talk about black people. You can't have white people talking about black people, and black people shouldn't be talking about white people, right? But I do feel that if we're gonna talk about talk non-racism, it does feel like they've got to the point where they're only deteriorating the black culture when what they should be doing is highlighting the overall culture. Kobe did not. I'm not gonna say he didn't rape her. I wasn't in the room with him and the girl, so I can't speak on that matter. I'm gonna speak on what I know as factual information. Kobe got acquitted. Mm-hmm. We all know this. In knowledge is 5/10 of the law, right? If the law says based on the evidence that was given.
Oh wait! Remember, there was no trial. There was no evidence. It's like the charges got dropped.
See what I'm saying?
So it wasn't even an acquittal. It was really he was charged. Charges got dropped.
Yes. So which is even worse. So in the fact that was brought up, we use the word clickbait. That was the biggest clickbait ever, because you just took every one of Kobe's fan and clickbait the life out of them. You took every person who did not like Kobe and clickbait out of them. You took every media personnel who felt like they can get a story and clickbait out of them. I feel like this is what was shown to me in the retrospect, is that they've been taking our knowledge and our kindness for weakness for years, and we've been just sitting here and letting them do it.
Yeah, and it's beyond that. It's on a base level. It's really just about protocol, man. It's like someone passes away. At least let them be buried. At least let the memorial happen.
Yeah.
Before you get into the dirty, messy stuff. Like,
yeah.
TMZ didn't even do that. Like, that's
I was gonna bring that up.
Right. TMZ.
Yeah.
Don't say the TMZ, but that's what I would expect something like that to come from.
No, because that's their
gossip thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the ones that first said that Kobe was on
ABC.
Yeah.
CBS. She's on CBS.
Yeah.
Like, come on, what are you doing?
Usually they have more class, I guess you would want to say. Yeah, but come on. And as her defense was, they didn't show the full interview.
Get out of here with that.
And put CBS. Is it CBS or ABC?
CBS.
Okay, CBS. Just put that one clip
out.
It wasn't really her, but it was like, damn, you throw your whole company under the bus.
You asked the question, like, whether you wanted some. I could understand you saying, "Hey, I didn't want to ask the question. They gave me a list of questions to ask, and I had to ask it." I can understand that.
She's too rooted.
I'm gonna say, Gayle farted and looked around to see if it stunk, and didn't realize it was really smelling.
Real bad.
It stank, Gayle. You know what I mean? Your fart didn't smell sweet. I know you've been eating kale, but it still stink.
It's not like he was asking this to someone that was one of Kobe's enemies. Like,
you asked his close friend.
Like, Kobe was like a mentor to her.
Yeah.
So she was looking at you crazy, and like she would have slapped you in an interview.
I didn't see
like
that.
she was looking.
No, she looked hurt. No, she looked hurt. I'm gonna say, all right. I'm gonna say this. This is what she said. That was so profound. She's like, look, I've been around other entertainers, and I'm not gonna use the word basketball star because it's not just basketball stars. Entertainers who's basically using their status like, yo, look, you see that girl over there? I'm gonna go get that.
Let me go hook it up.
Yeah,
for me,
go hook it up. And she's like, I've been around entertainers for a long time, and this has been very consistent. She's like, I've never had to do that with Kobe. Yeah. Kobe has been the most respectable person ever. And I want you to say, and I want to say, Donovan, for Trevor, when you do get a chance to eyeball the interview personally, you can see the hurt on her face. She looked at her like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Like, the man is dead. Like, let the man family, bury him in peace. Let his legacy live for a little bit.
So the interview did happen after the did
Yes.
that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's even
Yeah,
worse.
Trev, it's
God.
within the 48 hours of the man dying.
Oh God!
Crazy.
So everyone's still not like the first tears are starting drying up,
Yeah,
and
Trev,
you brought
that's
this
Trev,
up.
I'm telling you,
Exactly.
the
Right.
emotion on her face, Trev. She looked at Gayle like, I'm a Trev. She gave her that look of disbelief, like really?
Has she made a response since?
Ooh, Lisa
Leslie?
Leslie?
Yeah,
No, Trev, I would say this.
I wouldn't want her to,
No.
but I wonder if
No,
she
Trev,
says.
watch
I
the
think she said
interview.
enough in it.
Trev,
She said,
Really?
when you watch an interview,
she said enough. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
like it's to the point where I want you to understand. All right, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound bad. The reason why I caught wind of it is gonna sound nasty. Snoop Dogg, I follow Snoop Dogg on social media.
Yeah.
So when I was scrolling, I saw the post and I was like, "Is this really what happened?" Now this is me, guys. I don't take things for face value. I like researching, and I'm not gonna say my research does always give me the right answer, but it does give me some clarification. So when Snoop Dogg had his opinion, I was like, okay, what is this? I scrolled down my timeline. It was just showing in my face. I was like, all right, so since this is really outrageous, let's go watch it. And after watching it, and I watched the full interview because I didn't sit here and watch the one clip where I wanted to hear the whole context of the interview.
Yeah.
The interview, it was a Kobe interview, but the question that was asked there was untasteful. It's basically, it's all right. I'm gonna say this. I like Chick-fil-A. I just don't like Chick-fil-A sandwiches with a pickle on it.
Mm-hmm.
It takes it. If you know what I'm saying, it gives it a very distinctive taste, right? So it's like basically we came there for chicken, and you gave me pickles on the side, and the pickles just left that. Like I forgot that I ate chicken. That's what it felt like. Like you came there to watch an interview about Kobe, and you left the interview felt hurt. There's no way possible after you watch that interview and you felt like Gayle Kim was on Team Kobe.
Yeah.
If it basically felt like, you know what, she tried to badger Kobe for a little bit, and Lisa defended him to the utmost respect, and it hurts because I would have said this. I basically expect this. I mean, Don will use a keyword, and Trevor, we use the word TMZ because TMZ is kind of in a younger state of social media.
Yeah.
I felt like with Gayle's experience, it was just nasty. It just showed me that in that one moment, for over her 30 years, went to zero in one stinking interview.
Yeah.
It's like you went from having, when you have that nice, beautiful resume, and you said, "Oh my gosh, I've cleaned floors my whole life," and then you come and you give the person the job, and then they wipe the floor, and you're like, okay, so I guess you never wiped the floor before. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
So that's a taste that it left for me, and I'm not gonna say this. Gayle will find ways to redeem herself. I feel like in the sense of financial endeavors, another good interview will come her way. You know what I mean?
No, man. Yeah. Here's the thing, CN. I would like to think that, right? But we have to look at history and look at the times we're in now. Like, yo, people really canceling people for real.
Oh yeah.
Like, people really are getting canceled. Like,
yeah, but now
regardless of what you've done in the past, like they're looking like, hey, you do this, you're donezo.
Yeah.
We can't rock with you.
Sad.
Yeah. Guys, not to jump. No, I don't want to give a sad feel come to the end of this week's episode for the podcast, and not to leave it. I guess, Trev, I want you to give me a ratchet talk before I get to this positive real quick. Please.
Oh Jesus. Okay. What happened? Ratchet? The whole Meek and Nicki thing. Ratchet. I think I could even think of about that is just be careful who you sleep with, because sometimes that stank stays on you.
Yes, it does.
Like, because look at that. Like, why they're still having issues that want to call a bunch of 50 all your people outside for one guy for what?
That's having drugs involved, man.
Yeah, and no one's answering those questions.
No,
that's a heavy drug usage back in those days.
Yeah.
No. Them pills are still being popped, but that's a whole other conversation. Well, Trevor, I'll definitely say the Nicki and Meek thing is stink. I felt like, especially since Meek just got out of his whole jail situation, and the homies were
doing way better than he was before.
Way better.
I maybe this is not like a ratchet comment, but it's like when you see, at least with me, when I see my exes are okay, I will feel all right because I'm happy with my situation.
Yeah.
I don't see why I should feel negative about theirs.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you do dirt together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I guess.
they was doing dirt together, so they're like, "Yo, wait."
Yeah.
Oh, you better than me now.
Yo, homie was like, you know,
Okay.
That's gonna make you feel a little better when you know what I'm saying. Y'all was doing the dirt together.
Yeah.
And then homeboy done leveled up,
Yeah.
and you still here looking crazy. Like,
Yeah. Hey, yo, he I'm gonna say this. Meat Mills came into Mickey's situation on Windows 95 and left as an XP. You feel what I'm saying?
nah, man, he left his Windows 10
Yeah.
with all the updates.
With all the updates.
Yeah.
He got billionaire friends. He's you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, he did.
Doing big things for the prison reform things, doing well. Having dinners with governors and all that.
And key
Nick
point.
and Nikki's out here, you know what I'm saying?
Taking
care of her side.
No,
chick.
Nikki been downgrading, bro. So let me say this. Yeah, that's a whole other
I
conversation.
still haven't seen this guy, man.
Mr.
But I
Petty?
heard about him so much.
Him.
No, I haven't
Anything
looked.
she's involved in, he's there.
Yeah. He just
His videos, he's the one that's touching her.
Yeah.
Pictures, he's there. Like, homeboy he's milking this.
Yeah. Hey,
going nowhere.
look.
Are you trying to say he's like what's Oprah's man name?
Stedman.
Oh, yeah,
Stedman.
he's definitely
She's a
Stedman.
Stedman. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let me get to this positive thought.
Oh, also we got the next track being added to this episode.
Please.
I think I'm adding "It's Real"
It's real.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we're gonna that no, sure. No, it's
because
real.
I've been hearing a
definitely-
lot of positive comments about that last track.
I
Yeah.
like the wood.
Yeah.
What's the wood?
Wow.
Forever Be?
Yeah, would forever be, which is like,
Forever
dang,
Would Be.
you got to be married to feel some of them words. Right? But it's real. I'm gonna add that one to this one. This one, you hold your significant other when you listen to this track.
Trev, I like it. It's real. I mean, Trev, you said something earlier. You can't let my image defines me and define who I am. You got to be real. You can't take people for face value. I think people will show you who they are, what they are, and what they stand for over a period of time.
Yeah.
In the positive thought, I feel like get to know people sometimes. You know what I mean? Before you let what somebody looks like dictates what they do, right? You will be fun to realize that their insides is way more brighter than what the outside seems. You know what I mean? So I would say this: in anybody you feel that is important to you, take that time out and that effort. You know what I mean? Get to know them. You'll be surprised after you get to know them, they might just want to get to know you too. All right? And in that fact, then you're gonna really realize that who you're talking to is not fake. It's real. One Pot
There we go.
Podcast. We out.
Shout out to Van Hall. Van Hall is the artist.
Van.
Yeah. We're going to have him on. Don't worry.
Yes.
One Pop Podcast.
And for all the Valentine's Day love out there, enjoy that. Peace.
Yeah.
How could you be so blind to see when real love is standing in front of you, girl? Oh, yeah. You've been through so many foolish things. I know I can relate through it all. Girl, I've been through a lot of ups and downs, girl. Yeah. So many ones that I can't name. I was wondering if we could just go somewhere and get to know each other better. Yes, girl. Yes, girl. So you can see that my love is real. It's real. Oh, it's real. It can't get no real. It's real. Yeah, it's real. how to love you, girl. That's all I wanna do for you, girl. Even though I know how to love, girl, I don't need no directions. I learn from your reflections. I crave for tender affection, like a mother